Hello there guys and girls, and welcome to another Total War Online battle video. This is going to be a Ardiaei versus Armenia battle. I am playing with Ardiaei, and the reason I wanted to try Ardiaei, when I first got back into the game with Emperor Edition and I bought all the DLCs, Ardiaei to me seemed like it would be a very strong faction, but it didn't take a while till it was started getting used on multiplayer. But I still think they've got an I think of them like the... You know how Rome is a very strong infantry sword faction? I think of Ardiaei the same way. But in terms of spears, they've got lots of spear potential. They've got lots of choices, and you can bring really cool armies. But the real surprise of this battle is going to be these 4 units of Axemen, and I think these are the Illyrian Raiders. Their stats aren't phenomenal, but they can hide anywhere, and they're basically guerrilla fighters. So I've deployed them here behind enemy lines, and let's go ahead and take a look at my army. So my army is really split into 4 main parts. The first one is the hidden contingent of Illyrian Raiders we saw there. Then I've got I think these are 4 units of these Illyrian Thurio spears. Now these guys again aren't the best of units, but there's lots of them, and they do have javelins. Because skirmishing isn't something that's too big in this build. My core is really the strongest units I have, which is 3 units of these Illyrian Noble Hoplites, 115 armor, 65 health, 70 base morale, 53 defense. These guys are tough. That's why I put them in the middle of the line, and my general's actually one of them. And then finally on the left I've got 4 units of Illyrian Hoplites. These are just, standard Hoplites, but for the price, 105 armor means that these guys can be really good on your flanks. They can soak up missiles really well, and they can help 2 units of slingers that I've brought here, 2 slave slingers and 2 Illyrian cav, sort of tango with 4 units of these horse archers that my Armenian opponent has brought today. So let's go ahead and transition into his build. He's got 4 of these guys here, and then he has more melee cav supporting them. I think he has 4 more noble blood cav in this area overall. Noble Blood Cav are one of my favorite units in the game, honestly. I just love them. They're so good. His main line, though, is just Persian Hoplites, so this is going to be very easy to overpower. These guys are just, standard kind of Eastern Hoplites. They're not very strong. His general, though, is a Noble Spearman, which is a decent unit. It's not great, but it's okay. It holds longer than these guys. He does have also some Cartly Axemen. It's always nice to bring these when you're Armenia, especially if you want to bring a line infantry. But hopefully you'll see in battle number 2 of the day that I don't really think Armenia should be played this way. Then over here he's got 2 Royal Cataphracts and 1 Noble Blood Cavalry. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overview. Why isn't my tab working? There we go. So I've basically deployed my line into, as I said, 4 different contingents. I've got the left wing of Illyrian Hoplites. This is my most numerous and most aggressive flank. This is the flank that's going to be doing the pivoting. And then I've got my Illyrian Noble Hoplites forming the center of my line. And on the flank, I've got these Thurio spears. Now, the logic behind this is that you can see I've placed most of my punching power on the left side. And it just so happened that my opponent kind of deployed his sort of aggressive skirmish component of his Armenian army on this side as well. So I'm just going to be rotating with him around and try to get myself into a good position in this forest. I want my lines to be parallel to this forest line so that if Cav does come into play, their charges are going to be kind of nullified, and my Thurios spears and my Illyrian Hoplites can fight better against Cav in the forest. So I'm just going to continue this. Oh, we got some engagements happening over here. I do engage his this is his right flank with my Illyrian nobles. And this was a really good place for me to take the fight, because you can see now, if he wants to flank my nobles, he's going to need to go through 2 dense flanks, or 2 dense wings with units. You can see my slingers have actually done a pretty good job. They've gotten a few kills each, and they've kind of been pushing away this this ball of horse archers. And now I'm just going to go ahead and collapse my left flank. Wow, why is tab being weird today? And you can see here the left flank now can turn into a very aggressive front, while over here on the right I'm still kind of pulling back and creating these kind of pockets for these Cartly Axemen to just walk into. These guys are going to have a bad time as they're surrounded on all sides. But now you can see he's actually brought his cavalry through this little neat hole he's made. What is wrong with Tab today? I'm just going to press this button from now on. He's brought his cav a little bit in the hole now. If he just attacked the rear here, he would have been in a great position. I'm kind of scrambling to send units from the left flank to help this, and I'm also moving these guys. I've kind of mismicroed them. They should have either been coming around this side or moving to support the rear. But now you can see here that my raiders have now fully been revealed. I think he saw them before, but they're going to be huge for me because they're going to disrupt the back lines and they're going to help catch all these cav units that could be otherwise just launching attacks on the rear of my units. The Illyrian Noble Spears have done a great job here. They've cleaned up most of the Persian hoplite line, and all that remains is just these units here. And again, they're being fought by 2 units of nobles, 73 kills, 70 kills. They didn't really get a chance to get that many kills because 1, they were fighting kind of pound for pound with the enemy units, and 2, the Persian hoplites kind of rout very quickly. So some cav charging is now coming in from his Noble Blood Cav, but Noble Blood Cav against Illyrian hoplites, as you can see, the charge did absolutely nothing. That 105 armor is really, really strong on a flanking unit because it can take that kind of punishment. And now you can see his own skirmishers have kind of been pushed away from the battle. I saw this one unit of Kartli Axemen, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do an experiment and kind of charge it with these Illyrian raiders and see who wins. Stats say that the Kartli Axemen will win even though they're facing the wrong direction. We'll come back to that in a little bit to see how it's going, but you can see that his right flank has basically completely been destroyed. And now his cavalry are kind of entangled onto my spears. And I've done really well here with the Illyrian Marines, who I think, not Illyrian Marines, the Illyrian Thurio Spears. And kind of come in and trapped Cav again, and now here's his general. I probably should have targeted his general in a flank attack, but I had way too much numbers at this point. I was just attack clicking all over the place. So yeah, Ardiaei is a very strong spear faction. You can bring lots of spears, you can have a really wide line, and you can kind of split your army up. And those guerrilla units are really handy. They are weak on cav, they are weak on skirmishing, so going up against Armenia, I was afraid that he would bring kind of a very heavy skirmish style. And even if he did, I think it would have been a very, very difficult task in terms of like micro and unit placement to be able to kill all those spears with a skirmish build. But hopefully you'll see a skirmish build from Armenia in the next battle. So that's the game. There are his last units. They're going to start routing. And yeah, for the Total War Sundays, I just kind of came in and did 2 battles for you guys, and I'm gonna post both of them up here today. So you can see that he did have decent skirmishing, but he didn't have any foot skirmishing, and I think when you want to play Armenia, you need to bring some kind of foot skirmish contingent. Think of his army if he had maybe 1 or 2 less horse archers, maybe replace some of the Eastern Cataphract with maybe a Persian Cav or a weaker Cataphract unit, and brought in some like just standard foot archers, like 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. He would have been able to do a number on my lightly armored troops. Like, these Illyrian Thurio Spears don't have the best of armor, and these Illyrian Raiders also don't have the best of armor. And then he would have been hopefully able to deal with my Illyrian Hoplite and my Noble Hoplite Corps a little bit easier by kind of hammer and anvil. But let's take a look at the stats a little bit. You can see Ardiai's strength, I think, is in its ability to really just look at the variety of units here. They're not obviously on the same level as Rome, because Rome is just better. But you can surprise players a lot with this build. The Prussian Prince, I think, did a very similar build. I'm not sure exactly how it was, but he also used the surprise element of these Illyrian Raiders. But I really, really like the Illyrian Hoplites. 105 armor on this unit is just fantastic, and it allows you to kind of flank with them safely. You're not really afraid of missile fire, they just kind of shrug it off and keep going. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this fight. Remember to leave a like and a comment, and hopefully you'll see battle number 2. We'll all be using Armenia, and I'll try to show you how I think you should play that faction. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. So here we are. I actually do get a successful charge through all of these skirmishers. These Cretans are going to be having a bad time. And that's really my aim at this point, to kill all of his skirmishers. My horse archers have gotten lots of kills up until this point. They're all still intact, but they're running out of ammo. So now I'm going to have to rely on the ammo of my foot skirmishers, and this is why it's so important.